on?
Now you're good.
Well, welcome back to Grit Gym. I'm going to go through a little warm-up series here, foam rolling, stretching, and then we're going to jump into some med ball stuff from a technique standpoint and from a when and why we might use a heavier ball or a lighter ball, because people come out here and they wonder why we use a 4-pound ball for certain exercises. Why wouldn't I use a heavier ball? I'm strong enough to handle a heavier ball. Well, we can, but it might not be the most appropriate thing to do. And I'm going to do my best to project my voice across because we don't have a mic today. But first thing I'm going to do, I really like using these spiky balls on the bottom of your feet. You can use the lacrosse ball too, but get the bottom of the foot and you're just kind of spending some time on that arch. You're kind of working back and forth with the body of your feet. I think you should always start with your feet. Nothing comes in contact with your environment more than your feet do. Literally nothing comes in contact with the environment more than your feet. So you have to take care of your foot. If we don't take care of the foot, everything is going to be we're gonna risk everything else that we could have done. Okay, if we get the foot in a better position, everything above it is going to be better. So everything in your body has a source, and right now you're standing on your feet probably. That's the source of your movement. So I'm going to get the bottom of my feet. We're going to go down to the ground. I'm going to hit one glute, and I'm just going to make this kind of fast. Okay, I'm going to hit one glute. I'm just going to kind of work around, and then I'm going to hit the other glute, and I'm just going to work around. And usually I would go through with some foam roller stuff here too, but for today, I'm just going to stick with this. I'm going to get rid of that guy. I'm going to come up to the wall. All right, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it right underneath my shoulder blade, and I'm going to run horizontally. I'm going to lose the ball. That happens. Okay, right underneath the shoulder blade, go side to side. Okay, kind of cupping that arm, working side to side, and I'm going to get the other one. I'm going to come up a little bit higher, cup the other arm, work side to side. You might ask, like, why I'm going to warm up barefoot? It's the same thing. I want the feet to get activated. I want to give them a new stimulus. When you walk around in shoes all day, it doesn't do the same thing for your foot as if you were barefoot. However, people get that message mixed up with some version of, that feels really good, I'm a little sore in there. People get that message mixed up with some version of that they're supposed to be barefoot all the time. This is not the case. If you're on concrete all day, well, the stimulus on the bottom of your feet is exactly the same all day. It's not like being out in the grass and the dirt or sand where you're stimulating your feet. It's a totally different scenario. So if you're going to kick your shoes off, make sure it's a soft surface and then it varies. If you're going to have if you're going to stand all day, you want a decent amount of cushion in that shoe. Okay, so the last one here, I'm just going to put it my glute on the side of my hip. I'm going to work back and forth because I have a lot of stiffness back there. Everybody's going to have, their body is going to kind of tend to go, they're going to have these spots they're going to have to pay more attention to than others. So I'll work back and forth. And I know that I have my face on my shirt today. So I'm going to put this away, right? And then I'm actually going to put on my shoes later because we're going to do that medicine ball stuff later. So real quick, I'm going to hit 6 on my left, rotating under, 6 on my right. So hand on top of my head, rotate under, back to this back knee, and then I'm going to extend my upper back and reach to the ceiling. Okay? I'm going way too fast. Okay? I'm going to get my adductors. I'm going to stick one leg out to the side, one knee down, one leg out, trying to get the inside of the thigh, shift back, get a stretch on both ends. So I get a stretch there, and I get a stretch forward. I get a stretch back, I get a stretch forward. So I do that on the other side too. And I know I said 6, and I'm only doing 3 because we don't, I don't think you have time to sit and watch me do all the stretches. And then I'm going to cross my leg in front. I'm going to pulse back into that hip back here where I just had the lacrosse ball. I'm just going to sit back in, get a little stretch, come back out. And then I'm going to switch, sit back into that stretch. And I want to keep my back straight and use my hip. Sit back in, sit back in. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to roll on my back. And I'm going to drive my heels to the ground, keeping my knees pointed straight forward. Use my glutes, not my hamstrings. And I'm going to drive my arm up and through, come all the way back down. Butt up, reach through, come down. Butt up, not hamstrings, glutes, butt muscles, come across, butt up, reach across. I would normally do 6 on each side. Now, this is something we're going to talk about next Thursday, spine hygiene with Eric. But one knee down, one arm up overhead, one arm here. We're going to pick up the head, look over there, and we're going to drive our arm and our leg, roll over. We're going to crawl up to the knee, press on the knees to get this, to sit back on the hip, and then I'm going to stand up to here. Do you see how that's a way so that I didn't rotate and didn't collapse or didn't compromise my low back to be able to stand up? That's what we want, okay? So now I go and I put on my shoes, all right? You watch people who are overweight put on their shoes. They have to put on their shoes. They have to put on their shoes, wrong foot, in a very efficient way because they got this belly that stops them from being able to put on a shoe. So they actually put on a shoe that is better for movement than most of us do. Most of us just reach down. Now, how do you tie your shoes in a proper way where you need to put, this is what I said on the video the other day, that I guarantee you're putting your shoes on wrong. Well, I just did it in a better way than you normally would. You can also sit down to this, but okay, how do you tie your shoes? Put your foot up in a box and you lean down into it. Okay? You do not try, I'll show you on the other side. Everybody ties their shoes wrong and their backs take the brunt of it. Everybody goes like this. See what happened on my back there? You don't want that, okay? You want to put the foot up and you want to lean into it so that we're bringing the foot to the chest, not the chest to the feet. All right, why would we use a medicine ball, a heavy medicine ball instead of a light medicine ball for the same exercise? So let's say that we're doing a lateral hip toss. So we're going to get an arm's length away from the wall. We're going to sit into the hip, point the toe and throw. Okay, so I'm sitting into the hip. I don't start with the ball back here. Start with the ball forward. Sit into the hip, point the toe, throw. From the back side, sit into the hip, point the toe, and throw. All right? Why would we use the 4? Because the 4 feels like nothing, right? And then why would we use a 12? Because a lot of people will come in here, we'll give them a 4, and they'll be like, but I'm stronger than a 4. I'm stronger than a 4. This is nothing. Well, the reason that we might use that, instead of this, for the same movement, why would we use this one instead of that one? Well, this one slows me down a little bit. So in this one, speeds me up a little bit. So if I want to do a shot put, I can go a little bit faster. I can work on speed a little bit more here. Whereas if I'm working shot put here, I'm going to work a little bit slower. So it's really just about speed. It's not about whether you're strong or whether you're weak. It's about how fast do we want to move. That's the big thing. And the other thing with, so now that we got that out of the way, then we can accept that, okay, well maybe I should be using a 4 instead of a 12. We want it all to come from the hip. We don't want any rotation up here, okay? I see this a lot. People are trying to move up here. There's a misunderstanding of the exercise. It's not about this. This is about producing stiffness so that all the movement can come out of the hips. This gets really stiff and doesn't move at all. These produce the movement. So your hips produce the movement, and this produces the stiffness. Okay? If you watch MMA fighters, they have this big, like high yaw, right? It's 2 different things. Like it's a high to stiffen here, then they relax and let it flow, and then it's a massive stiffness when they connect with the hand so that they can deliver as much force across as they possibly can. Same thing with the baseball player. The baseball player gets back, gets all this stiffness to let it relax until right here, then it gets stiff again to be able to wing that ball. So it's a pop, pop. Okay, we want the same thing because that's how you're gonna pick your kid up off the floor. I mean, not with that amount of force, but you want to pick the kid gracefully up, well, you have to get stiff, relax, get stiff. Okay? There's this constant thing going on here between the stiffness and of the trunk with the motion of the hip. So you get into the hip, it's this big, it's a pop, pop. But anyway, that's a little bit on medicine balls and how to put your shoes on. Random show today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Anyway, we're gonna hop off, but please like, comment, share, tell us what you thought. If you have any questions, I'll address them in the comments. Thanks guys, see you soon.